Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be filming an updated plant tour video. So I'm just going to take you around and show you how my plant tour my houseplant situation has changed since the last time I filmed one of these videos, which the last full houseplant tour that I did was in January 2022. So it's just been over a year and I'm nice and sweaty right now because I just got back from roller skating. I have really been enjoying being outside and doing something fun. So I'm just gonna get right into the houseplants. I don't have a whole lot to say. Just disregard my little bit of a messy house. I am doing some work on the kitchen because I have to solve a little problem that my dog has been getting into the garbage. So I need to finish painting everything and I need to build a cabinet to put my trash cans in. So it's a little messy in there, but it's fine. Everywhere else is just lived in. I know I got a comment on my last houseplant tour video from somebody saying that I shouldn't show my messy house, but like, it's not dirty. Sometimes I just leave my clothes on the floor. Do you know what I'm saying? But whatever, let's get to it. So the first plant that I have is this Hoya Wyetii that kind of looks like garbage. These leaves are so thin. I have taken everything out of the pot that it was in. I got this from a big box store and it was in rough shape, and then I let it get dry rot. So then I took it all out and cut all the roots off, and now it's a situation. It's probably gonna die, but for now, it looks cute, so it's staying. But yeah, it just sits on this like really cute vintage cabinet that I keep all my plant supplies in, and my dog's toys are everywhere. And then right down here, these are some of my faves. I mean, look how good this Rhaphidophora tetrasperma looks. She is so full. This is also from a big box store last year. I got it probably in the summer, end of summer, and she's starting to grow again because we're getting a lot more light now. Usually my house is decently dark in the wintertime, so she's happy again. She's got 3 growth points, 2 down there, and then this one here. My goal is to trail it up this lamp. And then right next to that plant, I have my Ficus taniki, which hasn't started growing again yet. This one I had outside last summer, so we're thinking about doing that again. We have a couple more little ficuses down there. And then right next to that, we have this little terrarium that's pretty empty right now because, again, I don't get a lot of light in the winter. So if I put plants in here, it's not going to do great. And I'm slowly starting to transition some plants back in here. So right now, Hoya serpens that was living in a bag for a while. Here's some grow lights because I just don't understand this Hoya quite yet. This plant is always in here. It is a Hoya Papachonii. I really like it. It's a thin leaf Hoya. It's really cute and it really enjoys humidity. And this is the only place that I've been able to keep it alive. So, and then we have a little turtle. And I put moss in the bottom of my terrariums. As you'll see, I have another one. And usually I keep it damp. And then in the summer and spring and fall, this gets so much light and you'll just see how much humidity is in there because like all the glass will be wet, which is really cool. And then next to that, I have this sad little prayer plant. This is a peace lily. This is from my grandpa's funeral. My mom had 2 of them. Well, she had 3 of them. And the 2 smaller ones were doing really bad. So she was like, here, please take this. And she gave me this one. And I'm just trying to bring it back to life. And I think there are some new growths down there. I had to cut a ton of the leaves off because my mom is not a plant person at all. She hates plants. And the fact that she even has plants right now is kind of crazy to me, but this is pretty special to me, so I really do want it to survive. And then let's go ahead and go up here to my hanging plants. This one right here is a Monstera Adansonii, which from a distance looks really nice, but up close it kind of looks like garbage. Not my favorite plant, but it takes up the space and I kind of like that, so we're gonna keep it there for now. The pot is from Walmart and the hanging thing is from Hobby Lobby. And then next to that one, sorry for the light, next to that one is my Mandula pothos. It is just in a terracotta pot hanging from a macrame hanger that I got from a local art festival. It's growing, not my favorite plant again, so I think that's why I hang them up. My least favorite ones are over there because I just don't want to like have to deal with them that much, and if they're hanging up, I don't think about them and sometimes they need water, but you know, we get to that when we get to it. Now, these two hanging plants I really enjoy. This planter right here is from my local plant store, and in it is my micans, my long micans. I have several micans, but she's pretty. Get a little back. So she had two vines and I accidentally tore one of the vines off, and I have the worst time rooting micans, so we're just hoping that the ones that I have are rooting. But there is another growth point in the top from where I ripped the other vine off, so eventually we'll at least have two vines again. And just like, can we talk about how pretty she looks in the sunlight? She definitely gets sun stressed in this window. This is a south facing window, but it's fine. And in a macrame hanger next to her is one of my favorite plants. This is my Silvery Ann Scindapsus, and it's so full and getting so long. I chopped this at the end of the summer last year, and I finally got most of the cuttings potted back into it, and it's almost at the floor again. But yeah, she's really pretty, and when I cut her, she started growing new leaves, and they're pretty freaking big, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that's exciting. And my most favorite part is this little area over here. So this is my big Monstera Adansonii, and it's finally growing. There's a leaf right there. This thing and I don't really get along with Monstera Adansonii. I'm gonna be completely honest. They don't do well in my care. So the fact that it's still alive is pretty exciting, but it's just existing really. And honestly, I don't know what else I'd put in that hanger, so it's staying for now. And in the smaller planter next to it is my Philodendron Brazil. And it's so much bigger than when I first brought it home. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's so happy there. And when it starts trailing even more, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, because I have this plant shelf over yonder full of plants that it would be blocking. So this is another Monstera Adansonii. I don't know what form this is, but it stopped giving me fenestrations. And this was given to me by a friend. It was just a cutting, and I don't love it. That's why it's on the shelf. This is plants that I'm just like, they're special to me, but I don't love them. This is a spider plant that I was gifted by someone, and it had two babies that I cut off and are propagating right now because this plant hates me. We're not doing well. We're not friends, but I can't get rid of it because it was from somebody special. So this is a cutting from my Monstera. It was under grow lights for a while, so it's pretty bleached and it's not doing much, but this is something I'm trying to grow out for my stepdad. I think he'd really enjoy having one of these. He likes plants, but my mom hates them, so I'm just trying to like slowly bring them into the house for him, and then she can't do anything about it. And then over here is my Cebu Blue, which is also doing so much better than the last time I showed you guys. We got this long vine here, and we got a vine here putting on a new leaf, and there's another vine right over here doing something, not much, but something. And then my aloe plant, this was just a little pup from my friend. It is putting on a new little leaf. Is that what they're called? This one's like rotted off, but I refuse to cut it off, so ignore it. Moving down to the next shelf. This is my Marble Queen Pothos, which was a cutting from a friend. It's doing pretty well now. We went through some things together, but we're getting back to where we need to be to appreciate each other. And then over here is my Alocasia Black Velvet. It probably has a little fungus situation, and it's definitely root bound, but it's in a really cute little terracotta fish thing. Maybe it's a bird. I think it's a fish. But this is just the corm that I got from my mother plant that I eventually sold. So this is the only one I have left, so I just need it to be okay, because I actually really like that plant and kind of regret selling the mother plant, but whatever. Down below that is my Calathea orbifolia, which honestly cannot believe is still alive, and it's grown since I've brought it home. Now obviously it has some crispy bits. It had some crispy bits when I got it, so like it's fine. It had crispy bits in a perfectly great setting for it, and it has crispy bits in my home, so like I think we get along just fine. Eventually it needs to be moved off of the shelf, but like it looks so freaking good. It's from a big box store. But yeah, moving on to this shelf is my pearls and jade pothos, I believe. I've been on a journey with this one as well, but it just fills up the space, honestly. I don't love it. It really is just there. And this is a thing that my friend in high school made, and I have kept it all of these years. And yes, the shelves are dirty. And then down here is a rickrack cactus that I got at a plant swap. And honestly, it's growing these things. And I don't know anything about rickrack cactuses. I just liked the texture of it, and I thought it would bring some interest to my home. But like, can somebody tell me, do these turn into the rickracky thing, or do they just look like that because they're not getting enough light, which is definitely possible. This part of the shelf does not get a ton of light. It's mostly ambient bright light, but I mean, it grew, so that's fine. And then down here is my Squammy Ferrum. I got this a while ago and I paid so much for it, and now they're at big box stores, but it's fine. I don't really think too much about that. And I think the newest leaf is like rotting. I recently moved this from under my grow light, and I'm not gonna say it's happy. It's not doing great, but at the same time, it's not my favorite plant either, so I haven't given it a ton of attention, if we're being honest. Okay, so then from that section, go over here, and we have my pride and joy, my dog. No, my Monstera deliciosa. This is Monty, and I like that he pretty much has a full circle because I have a window over here, and then I have a window right here. So he gets a lot of light all around, so he stays like nice and he fills up the space, is I guess what I'm trying to say. He's in a huge pot, and when he outgrows the space, I literally have nowhere else to put him, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. He already needs a new pole because he's gonna need to be supported when he grows more, but I'm really excited. He hasn't given me too many more fenestrated leaves lately. He's been putting off these. Probably needs a good water. I honestly don't water him that much. I'm just gonna be straight up. We don't take care of the big plants as much as we take care of the little plants. But here's a little overview of that area. I just sit on my couch and stare at it. It's gorgeous. And then on my little shelf right here, this is my TV stand. I have this other, okay, let's start here. I have this tiny little Waiatii, which when the other one bites the dust, at least I still have this one that doesn't grow because it doesn't really get any light, but it's fine. We still like it. And in here, I wanted to put a random plant in here because in the afternoon, this has started getting some sunlight and some, you know, humidity, if you will, because I keep the moss wet. It's probably not wet right now, but I put this little Hoya crystal cutting that I'll probably gift to my friend, and it started growing. That's really exciting. So that's great. I'm so happy about that. Here I have this snake plant with a little turtle in there. I like to decorate my plants with little knickknacks, but they're just things that I accumulated over the years. I've literally had this thing since like 2009. So, you know. Then I have this little cactus that looks the exact same as the day I brought it home. It did bloom for me last summer, quite a lot actually. I was trying to see what the heck. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get a lot of light in my home, but I'd like the cactus itself to grow and not just bloom, but it's fine. The flowers were really pretty. Here is my philodendron jungle boogie. This is a top cut that I took from the mother plant that I had that I'm assuming had extra floral nectarine damage on it. Nectarine. I don't know if that's what it's called, but you know what I'm saying. Those little sticky bits that come on the plant that protects it. And then I think that it had it and then it got damaged by the sun, or it was fungal. So I cut off the top part because I managed to get rid of the dots. There's still some on here, but this is one of the older leaves. And I kept the top cut and gave the butt cut away. Like, I just gave it to somebody and I was like, hey, I don't know what's going on with it, but yeah. And it's not doing anything, although I do think that this thing is bigger than it was now that we're getting more light. So hopefully I'll get another leaf. I really love that plant. I really want a ring of fire eventually, but this one totally satisfies my need for that. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative, philodendron jungle boogie or philodendron narrow is the way to go. And then I have a Scindapsus argyrius. I'm really bad at saying names. There's a couple leaves back here that I need to cut off, but it's finally starting to grow again. Recently got this new leaf and this one, so we're excited. I don't know what I'm gonna do when it starts trailing, to be completely honest with you, because it's gonna look a little silly, but oh, got some water damage. But next to that, I have this moonshine snake plant. Yeah, snake plant. Did I call that spider plant a snake plant earlier? I don't know. I always get those two mixed up. But I have more of the snake plants down here. And this one, I think it's grown. I mean, when I look at pictures, it doesn't look like it was this tall when I first brought it home over a year ago now. But it's pretty. And down here, my goal is to make this like a snake plant area because it does get sunshine in the spring, late spring, summer, and early fall. But any other time of the year, it's completely dark. So I want to raise this one up. Just haven't found a stand that really does it for me yet. And then I maybe want to get one more. But I kind of want a whale fin thing. And then, yeah, I don't know what any of these are called, but I like them. And they look cute over here. So let's do a little back up. Ignore my exercise bike. I need to move that now that it's nicer outside. I've been doing outside exercises, so I don't really need it in my living room, but that's that. And then the last stuff I have is over here by my couch. So this is my golden pothos, which is very long and needs another haircut. I freaking love this plant. It looks amazing. It's so full and bushy. There's so many growth points. It's got some variations of being variegated and not being variegated. I have some cuttings of this at work on my desk that are doing terrible, but this one's doing great, so that's what really matters. And it's hanging from the ceiling with a macrame hanger. So love, love, love my golden pothos. And the last plants in the room are on this shelf here. This is my Hoya shelf in the living room. I have one in the kitchen too. I have multiples in the kitchen, but I've gone over these plants more in depth in my Hoya video, but we'll give you a little bit of a close-up of some of the growth here. Hoya Carmele, and it does have some growth, and it actually did grow some leaves down here too, which is exciting. Princess and Queen. I mean, this is the Queen, which is also still growing, which is exciting. She probably needs a repot. Sharpertii is growing. Laccianosa is about to bloom a couple times. This one's giving me a new leaf. I'm not going to go too into depth because I'll probably do some update videos on my Hoya stuff. But yeah, I trellised this one. Fun because I have a hanging one. But yeah, that's my little hanging plant shelf. Let's move on to the bedroom. All right, so when we head into the bedroom, right here is my burgundy ficus. This one is my oldest plant in the collection. I say that every time I talk about it because it's just so exciting that this plant has been with me for 5 years now. It's kind of crazy to think about too, because I think about the place I was in my life whenever I got this plant, and it was not a great place to be in life. So the fact that it's still alive after everything I've been through and it's been through just solidifies the fact that I need it in my life forever. So that is my burgundy ficus. It's not very burgundy, but I don't mind. I used to be sad that it was no longer burgundy, but it doesn't get a lot of light in here at all. And it's still growing. There's like even more baby pups in here, and I'm getting a new leaf there. So it's exciting. And we have the Hoya pubic calyx on this little trellis, and it is finally putting out a new vine. It's giving me lots of leaves, but no new vines. This is the newest leaf. It's not hardened off yet. And there's another growth point, guys. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that one. That's so exciting. Okay, wow, that was obnoxious, but yeah, this is like the cutest Hoya ever. It looks so cute on this trellis. And when it finally fills itself in, it's gonna be so good. And ignore all of my clothes. I got some new clothes and I was trying them on. But this is my philodendron bipinniforum. I am trying to figure out what the heck I need to do with it. I regret chopping it, but at the same time, when I chopped it, it helped, you know, I don't know, when you cut philodendron, they're kind of stupid. So now this one isn't strong enough to stand up. So I leaned it over, and I don't know, I've potted tons of cuttings back in here. So hopefully, I don't know. I literally don't know. I still like the plant, but It's weird. It's doing weird things, which is fine. Next to it, we have this neon pothos that I got as a couple of cuttings from a friend, and it's pretty large now. It's not really growing at this moment, but I'm thinking in a couple of weeks it'll start taking off again. If not, I might move it because I do want it to grow, and I could do something more here that, I don't know, we'll figure it out. It was enough light in this area for a snake plant to grow because one of the snake plants used to be in here and it started growing when it was in here. But apparently it's not enough for a pothos, so whatever. And then down here we have this reverted strawberry shake, which is cute. I do like it. I'm probably going to chop it and prop it just so I can get a fuller pot of it. It's in this basket that I don't know where it's from, probably Michael's or something. Don't have a pot plant in there right now because it died. And right here is this Pilea pepperoides, and it hates me. But I refuse to give up on it because I freaking love this plant, but every time I own it, it dies. Anyways, over here. This is a Thanksgiving cactus. Maybe it's an Easter cactus. Christmas cactus is what my family knew it as when they gave it to me. This is from my grandpa. This was his. So it's super special to me. And then there's one little cutting from my mom's in here that she took and propagated for me and then stuck it in this pot. And then it tried to bloom and it died off. So I don't really know anything about this plant or like what's going on here. It's got some discoloration. My mom's plant also has that and I don't know what it's from. There's no pest. I've looked. But super special plant to me and I will probably try to own it forever. And right here is my Maranta. I've always loved Marantas, but they never like me. This is the only one I've been able to keep alive. And look, it's freaking growing new leaves, guys. Whenever I saw that, freaked out because obviously I don't take care of it very well because it's got crispy bits here. It's in terracotta and it's in the corner of my room. So do the math there. It doesn't really get a whole lot of light. It's fine. It's happy. It's growing. I like that. And it is right next to this north-facing window where I keep this Hoya Bertonier. I just watered these, so I need to be careful. Then I don't get water on my bed. But yeah, Hoya Bertonier, species affinity Bertonier probably, I should say. It's growing all over the place. This is from a big box store. Doesn't look amazing, but it's been growing, so I'm hoping the new growth will, you know, take care of that. And then this is a Scindapsus exotica. Got this from a big box store for $8. Freaking craziness. It's huge. It wasn't this big when I got it. It's grown so much. It's getting some runners. Definitely need to water it more. Plants in my bedroom, they get neglected. They get neglected because I don't have a lot of plants in here, but the ones I do, and then like I can't even keep propagations in there because I just can't right now. And then over here we have Zeke, my ZZ plant. He gets a lot of light this time of year, so hopefully he'll give me another new growth. But if he doesn't, that's okay. He's perfect just the way he is. This is just one of those plants. I just appreciate it for how it is. And going into my kitchen, which again, construction zone going on. We're finishing painting over here, and then I'm gonna build a little cabinet that I can put the trash cans in. But right here is where most of my plants live. It is mostly Hoyas, and I have gone into depth over all these Hoyas, so I'll just show you some peaks and some new growth on things. Up here, I have a heartleaf philodendron. Ignore all the dead leaves. This is where I always put them and leave them forever. But this was a bunch of wet sticks that I got from my friend who got mealy bugs, and she was like, do you want these? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she had treated them. And then I grew them from wet sticks, and this is what it is now. It's in this self-watering pot from Amazon, which I have mixed feelings on, but right now I like it. Here is my variegated string of pearls. I recently just up potted this a lot. It was in like a 2-inch pot, and I wrapped it all around because it was long, and I think it's doing okay. My other string of pearls I'll show you is doing great, so I have faith that that one will also do well. Here I have some Hoyas that are propagating. This one I'm having a really hard time with getting roots, but it's fine. This one is about ready to be potted up. This is my variegated multiflora, so pretty. And then I have some variegated heartleaf, which is so exciting. They both have growth points and they're both starting to get roots, and I'm very excited. I do have a wet stick of it as well because the leaf like rotted off somehow. I have no idea what happened with that, but I am very excited because heartleaf philodendrons have become one of my favorite plants over the last year. So then in here, I have an air plant. This was like a cute little propagation thing that I got a plant in. Oh, it's my living room and I forgot to show you. It's a Syngonium woodlandii. Let me show you. Let's walk back in here really quickly. So on my table, I just put this here, which is why I didn't even remember it. But yeah, I have this cute Syngonium and it is still propagating really. Like, this one was fine to put in here, but this one probably needed a little more time in water, but it's okay. It looks so cute there. Anyways, that was what was in that little jar. So let's go back into the kitchen. Ugh, I just love, hi baby. Anyways, and then we have my big heartleaf philodendron, which had another long vine that I accidentally tore off as well. It's propagating right over here somewhere in one of these vessels. And then I have another Micans. This was entirely wet sticks, so it's pretty cool. It's really goofy looking, but it came from wet sticks, so that's pretty cool. This pot's currently empty because I gave the plant that was in it away. What was it? It was a string of spades, which I just didn't enjoy. And my memory's full, so I need to speed this up. I have a neon heartleaf philodendron right here. And here I have my Silvery Ann still propagating, just one of them. And then I have some string of heart cuttings that I just took the other day. And here is the heartleaf cutting that came off of the mother plant right here. And then I just have a golden pothos in here and then an Adansonii cutting in there as well. Down here, we have a little bit of new growth, which is exciting. My Hoya Dasanthia is putting out some new growth. My Hoya fuzuensis is giving me several new leaves. Oh, it's such a cool plant. I can't even. My Hoya Lawrence Andresiana, whatever that's called, has given me a new leaf right here as well since the last time I've showed it. Freaking love that plant, guys. And then let's see. What else is growing? I don't think anything else is really doing much. This guy needs a little bit of assistance, but overall, plants are just like hanging out. They're really cute. I guess this one's growing some. Gave me a random leaf up there with this cute trellis that I'm probably gonna switch out. Oh, I have my variegated string of hearts right here. So cute. And then down on this shelf, my Hoya obovata has decided that it wants to start growing. I did start treating my Hoyas for flat mites with some sulfur treatment. It has seemed to make some of them grow some. This one right here, this Hoya flagellana has started growing. And then this leaf is hardening off on my Hoya caudata. Oh, it's so fuzzy and cute. I don't really think anything else. My Hoya rosita is doing really well. And then I just repotted my Hoya Paul Shirley just the other day. So looking really cute in that pot. It was starting to decline, so I figured it was time to finally repot it because it needed it badly. Hoya carrii hasn't done much. We have some good things happening down here. Some growth. I don't know if you can see the growth there. We have some growth there. This thing is growing. Finally, I thought I killed it. We have some growth happening here. I know there's some growth happening over here as well. Got some things propagating. This one isn't doing much, but we'll figure something out. We'll get her growing. This one's putting off some new leaves. It put one off down there. And then down here is kind of a mishmash of everything. Got a couple of pink princesses that I don't know what I'm gonna do with, but new leaf happening. And this one is putting off some new leaves as well. This is the Hoya fungii, I believe. I need to like double check on that. We have our pink princess cuttings and wet sticks in here doing really well. I finally put these plants on a heating mat, which has significantly helped. These are the Hoya that I got in a Hoya mystery box plus a few extra, and they are all finally starting to root, and they just started rooting literally like this week because they were cold. And this heat mat has changed the game. Then I have some Dischidia cuttings in here and the variegated heartleaf wet stick. But I'm so excited about all my plants and how they are doing with spring coming up. So there's those. And then over here, I have a wine glass full of propagations, my micans, which I can never root. They're not doing the greatest. Whatever, my spider plants. There's a random string of turtles thing in there. Who knows what else. Most of these plants are just hanging out. Nothing's really growing now. This Inglaranion has finally started to grow some more. I just recently cut my string of hearts, which I'm gonna completely renovate her. Can you call it renovating a plant? I don't know. But the Hoya linearis is doing some exciting work. Do you see that peduncle? Do you see that peduncle? It has 2 peduncles. I'm freaking out, man. I mean, I didn't think this thing was gonna bloom for a long time. I recently cut my Silver Glory string of hearts to gift some cuttings to somebody who wanted some. So she's still pretty long. I also need to figure something out about her. My Dischidia ovata, growth point there. She's blooming. She's got a new growth point there. And this plant's so cool. It like has climbed itself around. Love it. My compacta is finally starting to grow and it has a peduncle right there. This compacta has started to grow as well. I don't know if you can see the new baby leaf up there. My sunrise has so many peduncles, at least 4. It has like 2 growth points I know of. It's super sun stressed. And then next to it is my just carnosa, and it's giving me 2 leaves. I had to tuck it into the Chelsea so it would have some support. And then as soon as I did that, it started putting off leaves on that long vine. So very happy about that. I do want it to be a trailing Hoya, but I don't know if mine's capable. And then my string of pearls, you can see hanging down. That's just the normal one. And then there is some other Hoya growth happening up there, but you'll just have to wait and see a Hoya update video. So that is the plant shelf. This is a south-facing window, so it gets a lot of light. And look how cute. Ah, so freaking precious. There's that. And then the last plants that I have are over in this north-facing window. And it is this big, ignore my mess. We're still renovating the kitchen. This is my big princess, Hoya carnosa, crimson princess. It's about time that I can put them back in the window, but it was way too cold because they would touch the window. So yeah, here's my Hoya lacunosa that has 6 billion peduncles. It's not currently blooming at this moment, but they are working on it, as you can see. They're everywhere. And the last plants are right here. We got this beetles, peperomia beetles or something like that. It's growing again, which is exciting. This Dischidia is not doing anything. We're learning each other. My peperomia Hope is putting out some new leaves. Love that plant. Don't love the pot it's in. I don't think it complements it very well. I am like a little bird, and whenever I take my dog on a walk and I see like random little things, I pick them up. So that's what those are, because I'm a little bird that carries things around for her nest. And this is a Hoya memoria. There's a little growth point in there. Nothing happening on these ones. This one did bloom for me, but then the peduncle fell off, so cute. And that was my quick little updated houseplant tour. It's not totally different, but I have added quite a bit of plants for my last one. I think in the last one I had somewhere over 70, like in the 70 range. And I definitely have well over 100 now, so it's fine. I can take care of all of them, and that's all that matters. And they all seem pretty happy. And the ones that aren't, I have no problem just giving away to whoever wants them. And I think that's the beauty of plants, because there's always somebody that wants one, you know, especially if they're a beginner and they don't want to spend a lot of money investing in the hobby. Just give them away. Sometimes I'll just throw plants away if they're like really dead, but usually I am able to at least take cuttings of it before it completely dies and then give those away. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on what kinds of videos that you want to see in the future, and subscribe to my channel for more random content. Bye!